Yo guys, I've got a spark which I'm gonna use to ignite the fire for a brand new video here on the channel. Now Skylanders back during their days in retail were pretty expensive. Of course the trade-off is that you'd enter a store and see entire aisles of brand new Skylanders fresh in their packaging still. They'd have display pieces and demos. It was awesome. Now to 100% all the Skylanders games, it was not cheap. However, there was ways around achieving 100% which are way cheaper than others. So for today's video, we're going to look at the bare minimum required to achieve 100% completion in all these games. Now when I say 100%, I don't mean all the accolades too. That would be ridiculous, as you'd need almost every single Skylander in order to earn every single one of those said accolades, and I can tell you what, that certainly isn't cheap. I simply mean triple star in all levels, including arenas and adventure pack levels, which means you're going to need all the battle packs and adventure packs moving forward. We're going to create two lists as we go along for CEX price, which you can get all these items for today, as well as for retail price, which is what you'd pay when the games first came out. So for Spyro's Adventure, you get 3 characters in the starter pack: Spyro, Gilgren and Trick Happy. That's 3 different elements right off the bat: magic, water and tech. When the game first came out, it was £60 for any of the starter packs, but today CEX sells them on for much cheaper prices. Funny enough, it's the PC version which is the cheapest, coming in at only £8. Next are the 4 adventure packs, which gives us 3 more new elements, as the characters you get are Slambam, Terrafin, Ghost Roaster and Sunburn. So you now have 2 water Skylanders, Gilgren and Slambam, but at least you have 4 adventure pack levels, so you can now access all levels in Spyro's Adventure. But you've only added Earth, Undead and Fire to your collection, so you'll still need Air and Life to access every elemental gate and earn 100% completion throughout all the levels. Now these 4 adventure packs alone were £80 at retail, but this means you're going to have to spend another £10 on an Air Skylander, and hey, on the bright side, this can be any Air Skylander of your choice. On CEX you can get the Empire of Ice for £8, shame you can't just get the figure separately, as that's all you need to access the level, and you don't need Slambam as you already get a water Skylander from the starter pack, that being Gilgren. Pirate Seas you can't even find on CEX, so we'll default that to the retail value of £20, and we'll do that for any missing items at this point onward. As for the Darklight Crypt and Dragon's Peak, CEX sell both those pieces separately for 50p each. This is the cheapest way to get those and access their respective levels. This means you're still missing Undead, Life, Fire and Air for the budget version. For Air and Fire, you get the cheapest, most listed items from either element, that being either Lightning Rod, Whirlwind or Sonic Boom, each at only 50p, or for Fire you can choose from Eruptor or Igniter, again for 50p each, costing you only £1 for both those figures. Now I bet you're wondering, why leave out Life for either version? Well, Repo Skylanders are backwards compatible, meaning you can get that element from later games or starter packs, so at the end of Spyro's Adventure the retail price is £150. Meanwhile, the budget version is only £38, saving you £112 thus far already. Now we're ready to move on to Giants, where we're not going to get another starter pack, instead we're getting Portal Owners Pack, where you only get T-Rex and the game, but at a discounted price. At retail it was £40, but at CEX this time around we're looking at the Wii version, which is £3.50. With T-Rex you can triple star each level, as you already have all the elements, and T-Rex can handle all giant areas in the game, making you able to access everything the game has to offer, at least on the level side of things. You still also need 2 battle packs. but these were sold at retail for £20, the same as adventure packs, so that would put you down another £40 and giving you new undead, life, water and fire Skylanders to your collection, for undead and water ones of which are backwards compatible as they are Series 2 Chop Chop and Series 2 Zap. Unfortunately, CEX don't even sell these battle packs, so again it's back to the retail price. For Giants, this puts our price tag for 100% at £80 for retail, but only £43.50 for the budget version, which is £36.5 cheaper. Next is Swap Force. The starter pack provides you with Series 3 Stealth Elf, who can go all the way back to Spyro's Adventure to open up those life elemental gates for you. However, even without Stealth Elf, you would have got camo from one of the necessary battle packs, hence meaning you got a backwards compatible life Skylander no matter what. So the starter pack is once again £60, with the cheapest version at CX being the Wii starter pack, which is only £2.50. But you not only need that previously mentioned battle pack with camo in it, because you'd also need one additional battle pack in the form of the Magna Forge, as well as 2 new adventure packs. So between the 4 of them, you're spending £80 at retail once again, since each one costs £20. And 20 times 4 is simply 80. That's how math works. I'm afraid I don't create math, I just reinforce it. Meanwhile, Tower of Time at CX is £5, Shipwreck Islands is also £5, Magna Forge is £5, and Arcane Crossbow is £10, putting you at £25 for the budget version of all these packs. Only £5 more than a single one at recommended retail price, and that's for the sake of getting all 4 of them, for Pete's sake. You also need a swapper of each Swap Force skill, and it doesn't help to get 2 birds with 1 stone here, as you can also get 1 swapper of each element in the process. However, that ain't necessary, as you can just use the second controller to bring a second Skylander in for the dual elemental gates, rather than using a specific Swap Force combination. Therefore, all you truly need is 6 more swappers, as you already have the rocket and climb skills from the starter packs. At £15 for retail, that puts you back £90, but for the budget version, here is what you would get at CX. Hoot Loop for 75p, Freeze Blade for £2, Stink Bomb for £5, Gorilla Driller for £4, Free Ranger for £2, and Firecracken at £1.50. This puts the Swap Force total at £230 for retail, and the budget version from CX will put you down £42.75, saving you £187.25. But this is at the expense of having to play for all the Wii version of the game. Playing on literally any other system is worth that price alone. Here comes Trap Team, a game notorious for just how expensive it is to complete. You need a Trap Master and trap of every element. Luckily, the starter pack gives you 1 Trap Master and 2 traps to work with, but for £60 at retail and £15 for the cheapest version on CEX, which is once again on the wing. Now for Trap Masters, for retail you can choose any 7 of your choice, and at £15 each that totals £105. Our next 2 Trap Masters are involved in the elemental expansion packs, so we get levels as well as Trap Masters and traps we need to 100% the game, all for £25 each. However, since we're doing this twice, it's £50. For traps, we still need 7 more, 1 for each of the final elements, as well as for Chaos Trap itself. But wait, there is a Chaos Trap and Dark Wildfire in the Dark Edition starter pack. An additional Trap and Trap Master element would save £25, and the Dark Edition is only £20 extra. Therefore, on a budget, you're better off getting the Dark Edition for £80 at retail. Then the additional Trap Masters would be £90, and the Elemental expansion packs will still only be £25 each, which is an additional £50. To get the final traps, there is an 8-pack containing 1 of the 8 base elements. This would cost at retail around £30, which is better than buying all 6 traps individually, because costing £6 each, that would put you down £36 rather than £30. Plus, from this you would also get an additional water and life trap. Let's not forget the final 2 adventure packs though. Midnight Express and Mirror of Mystery each would have been £25 once again, leading to another £50, making our final total for 100% completion at retail £300, which for Trap Team standard ain't bad. But how about the budget version? Once again, you'd bump up to the Dark Edition on the Wii, which would cost you £22 rather than £15. Sure, that is a £7 increase, but the cheapest Chaos Trap alone is £10, so you'd certainly save money there. So on CEX, you need to get the Sunscraper Spy Adventure Pack for £55, as that's the only way to gain access to the level piece, since you don't have the ability to buy it separately, and you need to be able to access that level for 100% completion. Midnight Museum, however, can be bought separately for £15, but you still need Nightmare on top of that, which is an additional £12 because you need her to access Dark Elemental Gates once again for 100% completion. And the cheapest Dark Trap is for Handstand at £15, making the total price of the pack effectively £42. Luckily, the Nightmare Express can be bought separately for £2, and the Mirror of Mystery £25, which is still cheaper than the entire Adventure Pack at £30. Now that's all for level pieces. All we need are the cheapest traps and trap masters of the remaining elements. Either of the cheapest fire traps is £2.50, either of the cheapest undead traps is £2.50 also, the cheapest air trap is £2, the cheapest earth trap is £2, either of the cheapest magic traps is £1.50, and finally the cheapest tech trap is £2. Moving on to the Trap Masters next, looking at the cheapest Trap Master of each element, we have Blastermind at £8, Eva Life Trap Master at £6, Head Rush at £2, Crypt King at £8, Jawbreaker at £4, and finally we have Gusto again at £4. This puts the total budget version for everything we need to complete Traptune to 100% at £190.50, saving you £109.59 from the retail price. If you take away items which are more expensive than the retail version and pay £50 for both elemental expansions rather than the combined £97 from the budget version, and you might as well get the entire Mirror of Mystery Adventure Pack than just a single piece at retail for the exact same price. That would put your price down to £143.50, saving you £156.50 compared to the full retail price. So in other words, congrats to those lucky few who bought the elemental expansion packs at retail. Boy, those were rare, even at retail, so naturally the resale price for those has increased exponentially. Superchargers is incredibly easy to 100%. All you need is the starter pack, £60 at retail and £8 for the cheapest version at CEX. Then you need the 3 racing packs. You need each trophy and a vehicle of each terrain, and having all 3 racing packs will give you both. At retail, these were once again £25, so for all 3 you're looking at £75. Now the Sea Racing pack at CX is only £5 and the Sky Racing is only £6, but the Land Racing is tricky. You're best off getting the Land Racing trophy separate. After all, you get a land vehicle in the starter pack, so that means you don't need another. The Land Racing trophy alone is £18, so let's take a look at the final sum for Superchargers to be completed to 100%.
But before we do that, let's not forget about the Chaos Trophy, which you also need for 100% completion. This initially came exclusive to the Dark Starter Pack, but it later released in retail for the same price as a trap, that being £6. On CEX, however, it's a measly 50p. That brings our grand total price up to £141 for retail and only £37.50 for the budget version, making this version £103.50 cheaper.
Finally, there is Imaginators, where you need a Sensei and Imagination Crystal of each element, as well as all 5 packs that grant you access to different levels. Once again, Dark Edition here is better. For an extra £20 at retail, you get an additional Sensei and 2 additional Creation Crystals, saving you £15. With the Dark Starter Pack putting you down £80, you still have a whole lot more spending to do. Firstly, Griffin Park Observatory for £30 at retail gets you an Earth Creation Crystal, as well as the Air Sensei Airstrike. Enchanted Elven Forest is once again £30 for a Life Sensei and an Air Creation Crystal. You also need the £30 double pack for Crash Bandicoot and Dr. Neo Cortex, which gives you access to a Tech Sensei at least. Then there is Cursed Tiki Temple and Lost Imaginite Mines, which give you no new elements for your senseis and each cost £30. but they do come with a life and magic creation crystal respectively. Unfortunately, you already had a life one from your Dark Edition starter pack. This leaves us with 4 more creation crystal elements, those being water, tech, undead and light, and 4 sensei elements, those being magic, fire, light and dark. With each of the creation crystals costing £10 and each of the senseis costing £15, that puts you at a well-rounded £100. Now moving on to the budget side of things, sticking with the Dark Edition starter pack, the cheapest one is for Wii U at only £20. For each of the adventure packs, all you need is for individual pieces, which puts you down £8 for Enchanted Elven Forest, but you must get the entirety of the Griffin Park Observatory pack for £30. At least now you have the Earth Creation Crystal. You have to get the entire Cursed Tiki Temple and Lost Imaginite Mine packs, as they're the only way to get each Platinum chest which is required for 100% completion. Unfortunately, on CEX is £90 for Cursed Tiki Temple and £120 for Lost Imaginite Mines. Moving on to Crash Bandicoot and Dr. Neo Cortex, of the 2 you only need 1. You already have a Tech Sensei, so instead you want to get Crash Bandicoot for £15. So the cheapest Sensei for the remaining elements would be Mr. Cat at £8, Mystical Typhon Crow also at £8, Steel Plated Hood Skull at £22, and Aurora at £12. For the remaining creation crystals, water is £3.50, tech is £3, undead is £3, air is £5, and light is also £5. Our final totals for Imaginators would be $330, and at budget it would be $352.5, which would put you £22.50 over the retail price, purely because of how expensive Cursed Tiki Temple and Lost Imaginite Mines are. And getting that at retail instead would remove £210 from the £352.50, which makes it £142.50, but you still need to add the £60 for the retail prices of both Cursed Tiki Temple and Lost Imaginite Mines, making our combined total for Imaginators £202.50. That is maximising all of the cheapest prices from both the budget and retail versions, and hey, this would save you £127.50 from the retail price alone.
And that brings us to the conclusion of this here video. Firstly, I have a disclaimer. These budget prices on CX are constantly fluctuating, so these numbers are based on the time of writing this script, which is January 2022. Yeah, this took me a while to edit, and could you blame me? Just look at this edit reel right now. Secondly, in Imaginators you technically need every single sensei to unlock every single Imaginite part, but you don't need every single Imaginite part for 100% completion. You do, however, need every Imaginite set, and some of those sets are exclusive to the premium chests found in the Cursed Tiki Temple and Lost Imaginite Mines, so that's why you need those chests. The same can be said for acquiring a creation crystal of each element. Now with that out of the way, let's view these collections side by side, excluding the traps and the creation crystals as we look over some statistics. The total retail price for 100% across all 6 Skylanders games ranks as follows: Giants at only £80, Superchargers at £141, Spyro's Adventure at £150, Swap Force at £230, Trap Team at £300, and finally Imaginators at £330. Man, they went out with a bang to really milk this cash cow in Imaginators, didn't they? Regardless, you add all of these numbers together, and to complete the entire Skylanders franchise to 100% at retail, it would cost you approximately £1,231. The total combined cheapest price for 100% across all 6 Skylanders games ranks as follows: Superchargers at £37.50, Spyro's Adventure at £38, Swap Force at £42.75, Giants at £42.50, Trap Team at exactly £100 more expensive, that being £143.50, and Imaginators at £202 with the extra 50p on there as well. So once again, if we were to add all these numbers together to complete the entire Skylanders franchise to 100% when budgeting, it would cost you approximately £507.75, which is an entire £723.25 cheaper than retail. though you could probably lower the price even further than that for items we couldn't find on CX, like the Giants Battle Packs or the Pirates News, can be bought brand new for even lower prices on stores like eBay. CX now sells the Griffin Park Observatory separately for £12. All you need from there is a separate Earth Creation Crystal, which is £2.50. No need for Airstrike, as you already have an Air Sensei from a Cursed Tiki Temple. This is £14.50 as opposed to what the Griffin Park Observatory is currently listed at on CX, which is £35. And that goes to show how much the price has changed during the edit, which took me over 2 months to finalise. Our final ranking is about how much money you saved jumping from the retail price to the combined cheapest most option for completing each game to 100%. My apologies, that's just right there. But getting into ranking, we have Giants at £36.50 saved, Superchargers at £103.50 saved, Spirits Adventure at £112 saved, Imaginators at £127.50 saved, Trap Team at £156.50 saved, and finally Swap Force at an incredinormous £187.25 saved. To prove that this math works, all of these totals add up to the price difference between the retail total of all 6 games and the cheapest total of all 6 games, which once again is £723.25. I hope you enjoyed the video, everyone. I put a lot of hard work and time into this one, so if you could show your appreciation by smashing that like button, I'd really appreciate it. Now, with that all being said and done, this video is coming to an end, but before that happens, I first want to thank all my Blazing Knights and Scorpion Dragons whose support allow me to continue pumping out quality videos like this one. Without them, this all wouldn't be possible. Therefore, I genuinely appreciate every last one of you from the bottom of my heart. If you enjoyed this video, I have others you can watch by clicking on screen now, and you can even subscribe by pressing the button on the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next one, but until that moment arises, peace!